Overcoming. That's the word we're going to be focusing on today. We're up to the letter O in our ongoing discussion of the ABCs of God. Hey everybody, how we doing? This is Earl, Real Relief Consulting. We're in another crisp Monday morning. We are recovering from another Bill Mafia loss. Bill Nation, I don't know what's going on with our boys. The defense plays well. The offense has moments where they look amazing, but yet we're 6-3. I wouldn't count the Bills out of it yet. There's still a lot of gas in the tank. And as I was telling my wife, who was miserable yesterday, I had to cheer her up by taking her out for some Ferrari pizza. Definitely would recommend that spot if you're in the upstate New York area. Ferrari pizza, nice spot. But I was telling my wife, the learning never happens with the W's. The learning always happens with the losses. And there were some places where the Bills, they didn't get beat by the other team. They beat themselves. But, that's another conversation. So we're talking about the letter O, overcoming. Overcoming, whoa, that's a big, big deal. I'm reminded, when I was growing up, of coming across a newspaper clip of my mom. And my mom had a news story written about her. And, it was a growing place of pride when I saw my mom in the news clip. So the story with my mom is, my mom, love her to death, as you guys know, came from a very interesting family dynamics where my grandfather was a very hard man. He wasn't very accessible emotionally. He grew up in Jim Crow South. He was a big brother. And a lot of Caucasians feared him because of his size and because of his disposition. And as a result, he got passed over for a lot of opportunities because of racism. At one point, before my grandfather was a professional boxer, he was in the military. And, I remember while he was alive, we were never to share this, but my grandfather got discharged because his commanding officer disrespected him or someone else, and my grandfather beat his ass. Damn, my grandfather was an abused brother. He got out, he did construction, a lot of the amazing buildings here in Rochester. My grandfather was a part of that. And, but I guess the point of it, because my grandfather was in this system back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, where brothers had to be hard because the world was hard, he wasn't always the best father. And there was some lasting scars left on, not just on my mother, but, I could say probably my aunties and uncles as well. Just some horrific things that every family has secrets, and this is not the place or time for me to share that. But my mother ran away as soon as she turned 16, 17. And she got blessed. She got blessed. Why? Because she was able to get in a safe place. My aunt Barbara had a boyfriend who was from down south, Uncle Donald. And my understanding is the stories that my Uncle Donald introduced my mom and dad to each other, and they did a double date. And man, my father was a Southerner. He wasn't super sophisticated, wasn't really a flashy dresser, but he was extremely loyal, extremely committed, and they loved each other. And as a result, my dad was almost like Noah's Ark in some ways for my mother. Overcoming. Mom never finished high school. The newspaper I saw talked about mom getting her GED and talked about mom, being admitted into a program for Eastman Kodak. And man, it was just so prideful. I was just so extremely happy to see that newspaper clipping of the person that was mom to me. And it made a ton of sense what my mom expected of us growing up. She expected with respect to school, with respect to hard work. Mom expected nothing less than excellence. Point blank, period. Didn't care if you got an A. If there was a possibility you could get an A+, if you just applied yourself, we're shooting for the A+. She didn't care about if you got a D. If you were given your absolute all to that particular subject and you had a D, so be it. So, that was the dynamics I grew up in. And so, overcoming. Listen, friends, a lot of us get stuck. A lot of us get in a rut where, we kind of get into a groove. We kind of get into a cycle. I have a partner, Mr. Turnquist. He calls it the rat race. We get so comfortable, not really comfortable. We get so conditioned of just going around in a big cycle of, working 40 hours a week for 40 years to ultimately retire off of 40% of what we couldn't afford to begin with. And we're working just hard enough so they don't fire us, and they're paying us just enough so that we don't quit. That's the cycle. And getting unstuck can sometimes be super challenging. But I want to encourage you guys. I want to just say you can overcome. You can raise your level of expectation. And I don't care what you're overcoming. You could be trying to overcome relational things. It could be health related. It could be, your income level. It can be anything. You just have to have, and I'm going to just end with this idea, you got to have a why. And that why, according to Tony Robbins, has to be big enough to make you cry. What was my mom's why? I believe my mom's why was that she was raising kids, and she wanted to share with her kids the importance of finishing their race. Because what I didn't tell you is mom dropped out of school when she was 17. She didn't get that GED until she was almost 37. I saw my mom studying with us. Crazy. But seeing my mom grinding it out and then understanding the story years later, again, that was her why. Dear friends, find out what your why is. And once you have that why firmly cemented in your mind, go ahead, double down, put it on paper. Double down every morning, get up, thank the universe in advance for allowing you to achieve whatever it is in order for you to satisfy that why. Double down. Not only are you putting it on paper, not only are you putting it in a gratitude journal, create a vision board for yourself. Do a PowerPoint for yourself. Put some images. Put yourself having achieved it in image form. Guys, this is such a powerful set of methods that I've started using myself as I've climbed this mountain, and I'm now in a scenario where my health is better, my relationships are better, my income is better. And this is what I teach my students in our academy, as we endeavor to get them unstuck. So Again, dear friends, my encouragement is be overcomer. You can do it. Priscilla Ann McCrae was an overcomer, and so can you be. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your Monday morning. God bless.